Good evening and welcome to Success in the City. My name's Helen Webster and I'm with the birthday girl.
Yay. Happy birthday.
Thank you, Sandra Scott. And our lovely guest today, if you'd like to introduce yourself, is?
Julia Ross. Nice to meet everyone.
Welcome, Julia.
Thank you so much, Julia, for giving your time today. We know you're super busy and you've got loads going on, and we're dead excited to find out everything that is going on as we go on through the show. But first, we shout out to the kids, little people who are doing amazing things. I'm going to go first, okay? So I'm going to give a little shout out to Sam, whose birthday party we were at on Sunday, but his birthday's not until Friday. And he's going to be 4, and he was just ace. And all the kids there were amazing. We went to Banks in just outside of Southport, and we took Lou and had the kids party, and they were just all amazing. They were lovely, weren't they? Like really, really lovely kids. Sandra and I did it together, but they were just big shout out to all the kids. They were boss. And
you've stolen my shout out to the kids. Sorry. They're all really well behaved and super cool. So that was just wonderful. Shout out to all my young people who've gone back to school. And I've mentioned several times about Artem, the Ukrainian lad who was doing voluntary work teaching. And he has started at St Eddie's and he's had a great time. He's made some friends. So shout out to the kids in year 10 at St Edward's who've taken this lad under their wing, gone to school, speaks hardly any English, straight into year 10. And they had him out at the weekend at a skate park and everything. So I'm just made up. And he's dead happy to make friends, and because he was really quite stressed. And he said it's nothing like school in Ukraine. So
well done, Artem.
Never worn a uniform before or anything. Wow. So it's a culture shock, you know. So shout out to him.
Yeah, and the year 10 kids. Any little people for you, Julia?
I want to give a shout out to all the young people that I work with, because I work part-time that are in foster care or residential care. I just want to give a shout out to them and in terms of their amazing strength, and that's who I want to cheerlead.
Yeah, definitely brilliant. And I'm going to give a shout out to James Walker as well. So James has Rachel's little boy, James, and he did school last week, and he went to the nursery there, so he went all day to nursery. And then last week he just had to go afternoons, you know, like when they first go into your reception. So he was fuming because he'd been told that he was going to be with his little friends. And he wasn't, because they were in the morning, he was in the afternoon. And he was fuming because he didn't have his dinner in school. And he was fuming because he had to wear shorts and he couldn't wear his joggers anymore. But he's in for the full week this week. So, big shout out to James for being cool and rocking his shorts. Success of the week for you personally. Something amazing that's happened to you this week personally. I'm going to start with you, Sam.
Well, I got an old ladder, a rubbishy old ladder that was knackered for 25 quid from Lark Lane, painted it, and I've put plant pots and bluebells all over it, and I am not bluebells, pansies and everything, and I'm over the moon with it. It's just brilliant, because I painted all the yard white, didn't I, the back, and then I've got this ladder which is like pale blue with all the plants, and I'm just made up with myself.
And it looks boss.
It
looks really good.
Absolutely made up with myself. I did it all Saturday. I was so pleased. Great Ormond Street Market is the best place for plants. You want to bargain. Honest to God, that guy, I really should find out what they're called. When you go in, the plants I've had off him over the years, and he gave me all the top tips with the tomato food for the flowers and everything. The geraniums I bought off him 2.5 years ago, they're just amazing. Anyway, I spent 25 quid with him, and he gave me 9 geraniums for free if you go after 2 o'clock. And they're all pale pink. They're just gorgeous. I was over the moon. So shout out to Great Ormond Street as well.
Yeah, that's so. What's your success this week, Julia?
It's probably amazing and minds me plants. Go on.
Do you know what? Well, mine's not unsimilar to yours, because I was having a good think about what it was, but I'm rubbish at gardening, Sandra. Honestly, everything I plant, and I do make an effort. They don't survive, especially outdoors. But this week I thought, right, now I'm going to do a hanging basket, and I'm going to make like an evergreen. Listen to me, like I'm a big experienced gardener, because I'm not. I'll do a big evergreen hanging basket, and that'll last the winter, because all the summer stuff's died off, hasn't it? So I've successfully planted loads of evergreens in a lovely big hanging basket. Whether it lives or not is a different matter. So that's a huge success for me this week.
It will. Well done. It will live. It will live forever. And my success. So I've done loads of stuff, but I don't really know what. But Poppy. So Poppy's the dog, and she's been to the office twice this week, and she's like turned into the best behaved dog in the world. And I think it's because she's going deaf, so she's not like on pins all the time. But this morning, I took her to the Wings, you know, in at the Baltic. And I got her to sit still and pose for a portrait. And anyone who's met the dog knows that doesn't normally happen. She doesn't normally sit still. But she just sat there. She just sat off. I had a photograph taken. She was off.
So I saw that picture on Facebook and couldn't believe that you got the photo. I thought, how's she done that? That's exactly what I thought when I saw it.
Yeah. So Peter Lloyd's listening, and he says, "Evening, ladies, and lots of birthday. I think lots of birthday wishes to Sandra."
Evening, Peter.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to play this or that. Sally, you going first, or am I going first?
You can go on.
Okay. So I'm going to ask Julia first. Okay. Scripted or improvisation?
Oh, I like both. I like both. But I love writing. I love the writing in something. So I'm going to have to say scripted, because I love reading and people's writing and performing that. So yeah, right, scripted. What
about you, Sam?
If I were to improvise, anything could happen. It could go dreadfully wrong. So probably scripted would be the best thing.
I would rather see you being improvised.
Like, you can't catch the words once they've left your mouth. That's the problem.
Which is why I'd want to watch that. I'd probably go improvised. Yeah, I quite like the not knowing what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
Thing. Yeah. Okay, Sam, you.
Okay. Julia, first of all, serialized drama or a film?
Serialized drama. I love a good drama. Yeah, I love it when it's you know, it's true to life. It's you know, it represents everybody, and yeah, it's just I love drama, serial drama.
So I like serialized drama now, because I can record them and I can watch them one after the other, because I used to forget what had happened, like, you know, to watch them every week. But I do love a film where I don't have to concentrate. You know, where you can just like watch something and switch off.
Yeah.
But if I could only watch one ever again, I'd probably film. What about you, Sam?
If I could only watch one ever again, it would be film. But I really do enjoy these dramas that they have.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like when we were young and there was no like catch up or downloading or anything like that. And you watched a series each week, didn't you? And like you'd run home from school on a Wednesday to see it, or something on Sunday. So I quite like that still. I like to watch a drama week and think, I'll make time. I don't watch much TV at all. So I like make time for something, you know, like 1 hour a week on a Sunday, all that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to ask Julia again. TV or theatre to perform? So would you rather be on the television or on the stage?
Oh, I think that I'm not sitting on the fence here, right? And I will tell you now, but because I think both have got the benefits in very different ways. Do you know what I mean? I think theatre is wonderful because it's live and it's, you know, the camaraderie and you know, the instant audience interaction and stuff. But I love the TV. I do love the TV, albeit it's filmed back to front, and you know, you don't do it like you would theatre. But I think TV edges it.
Okay. What about you, Sam? You're on the stage, by the way, Sam. You're not watching it.
Pardon?
You're on the stage. You're either going to be on the theatre or you're going to be in a telly show.
Oh, I'm so glad you explained that. You knew I didn't get it by my face, didn't you? I was wondering, okay, no, telly, because you can retake it 1,000 times. Theatre's live. Look at Julian Clary, fell off the theatre and fell off the stage in the Empire. That'd be me. That'd be me straight off. First night, off the front. No. TV, hands down.
Okay. I'd probably go theatre because of the live audience aspect of
trauma.
As you were saying, like, the instance. I'd probably go theatre. Go on, Sam. Oh, I've only written 2. Go on.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. Cats or dogs?
Oh, dogs. Yeah. I've always had dogs, and at the moment I've got a Jack Russell. She's a character, honestly. And the last dog I had was a golden retriever, so you couldn't get the poles apart, really. But she's just, I love her. I absolutely love her. So I prefer dogs to cats.
Oh. And Helen's saying this, and the cat's probably under the desk.
The cat's right next to me because I've gone live. Yeah, so he hates humans, and as soon as I put Zoom on, he comes and sits right next to me and meows all the way through it. But he's actually quite chilled at the moment, and the dog's downstairs. So no, it's very, very tricky. I love the dogs. The dog's like, she's like, because it's like, they come in and they say hello to you, and so I think dogs have owners, cats have staff.
That's true. Well, so I always loved cats more because I didn't have dogs growing up, but then I got dogs when I was older, over the years. And then I would always say I'm not too sure, but I have to say, because I don't have a cat, I don't have an animal where I live now. If I stroke a cat now and that I break out and my eyes start streaming and everything. So I'm going to say dogs because it was like that between the two. So now I'll say dogs, definitely.
Yeah, Poppy will be made up when she comes to stay.
And I love Poppy, you know that. I think Poppy's ace.
She is an ace dog. Okay, I'm going to make one up. I'm going to say reading a book, because you said you like to read before.
Yeah.
Fact or fiction? Julia.
You're asking me fact or fiction? Mm-hmm. Fact or fiction? I probably like fact, because I love the personal development books as well. I read a lot of them. Do you know what I mean? But I've got loads of fiction as well, so I can stick my head in a fiction book when I'm on holiday, and especially period drama type fiction. But yeah, fact, I find I've got tons of developmental and acting books and stuff. Yeah, so fact.
Yeah.
Can you read 2 books at the same time?
No.
We had this conversation and I can't.
I thought, one at a time. If I'm into a good, it depends. If it's boring, then I won't pick it up. Then I'll leave it. Do you know what I mean? If I really can't get into it, I'll just leave it.
Yeah.
And I'll move on then to another one. But one at a time.
Yeah, I'm the same. Fact or fiction, Sam?
Okay, so mostly overall, like Julie was saying, really, I like to read a lot of business books about business and moving forward and personal developments and that, language books and things. So mostly fact, but the odd fiction. Julia, you were saying like when you go on holiday, So I used to always take I quite liked an autobiography, about someone's life story, which I suppose it's not. Is it fact or fiction? You know what I mean? It's someone's life story, but it is like reading a novel, if you like. But even now, and I remember when I went on holiday a while ago, I took a workbook and stuff. So it's still probably factual with the odd fiction thrown in. But I probably read one novel once a year. If William Boyd releases one, I'll buy it. He's my favourite modern author. That's it.
Yeah, I'm the same as what we've all said. And an airport ritual is that I have to buy a book when I go on So every time I go to the airport, I have to buy a new book.
It's standard, isn't it? Standard, get a book in the airport.
Yeah, I have to buy a new book. And I think last time we were going on, we were going on a hen night, a hen weekend. And we were in the airport, and I said, I've got to buy a new book. And we were all looking for, and I bought the High Performance podcast book,
God.
which was amazing, which is one of the best books I've ever read. But yeah, and then I was thinking, and I think I read A Page, because we didn't do any reading on the holiday. Go on, San, your last question.
Okay, my last question is, apple, seeing as it's seasonal, apple crumble or chocolate cake?
Oh. Go on, who's taking that one? Helen, are you having that one?
Sorry, Juliet, I was asking you that one.
Asking me. Apple crumble all day long. And even better when there's custard on it or ice cream.
Yeah.
That's apple crumble is one of my faves.
Yeah.
And look, the cat knew that I said dog before. Apple crumble is one of my faves, but so is chocolate cake. And I think if I eat one for the rest of my life, it'd have to be chocolate cake. What about you, Sam?
Apple crumble. I love it. And
for the rest of your life?
Right, okay, yeah, because I love chocolate and chocolate brownies and stuff like that, yeah. But I love apple crumble. Apple crumble, apple pie is like probably my favorite.
With custard, yeah.
Oh, with custard, 100%.
Yeah. Okay, so all that is finished. And Sandra's going to introduce Julia, and then we're going to hand it over to Julia, and off we go.
Okay, so our guest this evening is the fabulous Julia Ross, and I'm really delighted she's come on this evening because she's quite inspirational because, like me, I suppose you made a decision to do something to follow a passion later in life whilst maintaining your employment in the first instance, and now you manage them both together. And I'll let you speak about what you do in your journey and how you've come to do both, because sort of your job before acting is something that you still do part-time is something that massively helps society, but also your acting's really interested, and I know there's a lot of people who will have seen you in different shows you've done, and that Helen and I are going to ask you loads of questions as you talk, and probably will interrupt you at the same time. We'll probably ask you the same thing, dead unprofessional, but it is meant to be like as Helen says, your auntie and your nan, and I'm the nan. That's what she says to the young ones. So please take it away, Julia Ross, and tell us all about your journey and how and why you do what you do.
Okay. I started acting when I was young, so probably about 7. I started acting, and I loved it in school. It was my favourite subject, and then my granddad paid for private lessons for me, so I went to, it was called the Ackley School. So it was where the Epstein Theatre is. There used to be just around the corner where the old lift is. It was called the Ackley School. So that's where I went. And I'd do exams with LAMDA. So LAMDA had come up from London. So I went for about 4 years. And then I got to about 11 or 12, I think. And people were saying, "Oh, Julie, just have it as a hobby," because it was something I wanted to carry on and go to drama school. But my mum and dad couldn't afford. It was Elliot Clark at the time. I think it was, I'm sure you could get a grant, but anyway, mum and dad couldn't afford it. So I kind of shelved it all and thinking, right, okay, I'll go and do a normal job. I'll get qualifications and all the messages, all the negative messages where they have that as a hobby.
Yeah.
You need to get yourself and back in the day for me, it was childcare. It was looking after and nurturing. So I went into social work, got myself into university, qualified as a social worker. And I always fancied the child protection side of it because I thought I could change the world at the time. I thought I'd go in and I'd be able to change things, and little did I know. But little changes I could make, but I wasn't going to change the world doing that job. But so that's what I did, and I've done that now for about 22 years, and I've moved through. I've always been child protection of some type of But at the moment I'm in fostering, so I'm a manager now, and I just do 3 days a week. And I work with children who are in foster care and residential care. So just making sure they're getting everything that they need and challenging it if they're not, really challenging the system if they're not. And listening to the voice of the child, kind of promoting them really. But alongside that, about 4 years ago, I still did the acting, the odd bit of acting, because I moved away, I worked away, but I never kind of truly picked it up. It was as though I put it in a box and locked it away and thought, well, nothing's ever going to come of that. And then about 4 years ago, I'd just come back from Jersey because I worked in Jersey for 3 years, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to just go to a local acting class. And I went to Act Up North, which was at the back of the Everyman at the time. I think, I'm not sure whether they've moved now. And that's how it started. Then I had a friend who was doing extra work, and I thought, oh, I'm going to go and see what all this extra work's about. Anyway, once I got onto a set, I was like a kid in a candy store, and I couldn't get enough of it in terms of the production and the watching people perform and the jargon, and I just loved it. And that's where it started really. It was kind of, it come back out of its box again, and I allowed that to happen. I have to say I did kind of waver because I thought, I'm I think I was 49 at the time. And I thought, oh, I'm too old for this now, past it. And after several chats with different people, I thought, you know what, I'm not past it. I'm only just beginning again. And there's plenty of women out there who are my age who need people like me to perform, to kind of tell their story. And that's what gave me the passion really to carry on, at 49, 50. And that's just how it progressed. So I continued with Act Up North, and then I thought, right, I'm going to go. And at the time, I went into a lockdown as well. We went into the lockdown.
Yeah.
I was still doing the extra work. But I knew I wanted to be on Spotlight, which was is where all the casting directors go. It's the main platform, if you like, where all the casting directors go. So I kind of did a couple of plays. Then I got a couple of commercials. And I got them through. I joined a platform called Star Now, which was basically you just put your profile and your pictures, and I got a couple of commercials out of that. So yeah, it was just a progression, and I kept pushing because I loved it so much, and I'd found something that I'd buried. I'm getting emotional even thinking about it, actually.
It's like reigniting the spark, isn't it? So it's something that you think, I'm never going to be able to do this, and I love doing it, and I've put it to one side, and I've put everybody else in front of me, and then something happens, and you open the box again, and you went to the acting class, and you thought, oh, I love this again, and you had a good time, and then you go on to, and somebody goes, well, she's a bit cool, we'll have her in this play, and we'll have her on this, and then somebody else goes, oh my days, look at this, and you take those few, and I think as you take those like rungs on the ladder, or the steps forward, and other people are coming and saying, oh, she's good, your self-confidence goes, so inside that you're like amazing.
Yeah.
And everybody inside, deep down inside, knows that they're amazing, but sometimes we need external validation for that. And then when somebody else says, oh yeah, you're cool, your little confidence button starts to come up, and then it projects, doesn't it? And the more success that you have, the more success that you get.
It was a challenge, and I thought, I'm going to face this. I'm going to, because it's something that I love. Yeah. So I'm not going to deny myself any longer. And I think one of the first plays I did was The Mums, the Sons, and the Knives, and that was with Brian Mannis, and it was on a Hope Street. So, just doing that, just it just escalated me so much in terms of validating that was what I wanted to do. And along with the commercials as well, I got enough credits to get myself onto Spotlight. So that was like another step up. And at the time, nothing was going to stop me. And I think that's the stance as well that I took was enough is enough. You know, I'm here for me now. And it's not about everybody else. It's doing something that I absolutely find total joy from. So
it's even at the age of 49, you know, when people say, oh, you know, I'm too old to do that. And I just say to people, you still got to work for 20 more years. You might even have to work for 30 more years. You may as well do something that you really love. You go, oh, I'm nearly 50, you know, and I can't, and I think, oh, mate, you've got to work for another 25 years or 20 years. So you may as well just do something that you love. And I love that about you, that you thought, no, hang on a minute. You know, nothing's going to stop me. I'm just going to go through this.
Your life can start. Your life can start at that age. It doesn't mean because of what society tells you that, you know, you should be doing this at that age, you know, sod all that. You know, at the end of the day, your life can begin at any age, you know, whether it's getting a qualification, whether it's learning how to reupholster, whatever it is, you know. For me, it was the acting, because it was something that was always there, you know. But yeah, I just continued. I got onto the Spotlight, and then I thought I need an agent. I'm gonna have to get an agent, you know. And I wrote to loads of different agents, and I've got an agent now. I've got a lovely couple of guys from Bodie Talent Agency. And yeah, and but what I did alongside of that was I was always networking. You know, that it's not easy. It doesn't all come to you on a plate. You know, it's just steel determination.
Yeah,
you know, pushing and networking, and I think Tony said something last week about knocking the doors down, and you know, and just making yourself known and heard. So that's what I do. I network. I go to different workshops with different casting directors. I've done different workshops with Ian Brevitt and Rhys Dinsdale and Juliet Charlesworth. You know, they're lovely, talented people that I take everything they've got to give, you know, in terms of learning, because I'm still learning. You know, you don't just, you know, start doing something and think that's it, I know it all. You constantly journey of learning. So, and that's, I think, the Emmerdale one, I got the shock of my life with that, to be honest. Because it came, I did get an audition for Emmerdale, and I never got it. So I thought, oh, just forget it. And then about 6 months later, I got another one, and a tape for it, because what you have to do is self-tape on your phone at home. Send it to your agent, and then your agent will send it through to the casting director. So that's what I did. But I thought, you know what, I'm not bothered whether I get this or not. And
is that a new thing because of COVID and lockdown, or because years ago did you all used to have to line up and?
Well, it used to be, most of it was in person, but because of the lockdown, all of it went to self-tape, which, you know, and I think they're doing that quite a lot still. I mean, they will have recalls in person if that's what they want, but initially it's still self-tapes. So what happens is you'll have the Spotlight, your agent will go, Julia might be suited for that. They'll put you forward, and then if the casting director thinks, oh, we like the look of Julia, they will say to the agent, can you ask Julia to tape? So then a tape, and then my agent sends it off. Anyway, I was in the middle of TK Maxx, and I got an email, and I just burst out crying in the middle of TK Maxx, because it just said, congratulations, you've got Emmerdale. I can't believe it.
So did you buy loads of stuff on a panic buy in TK Maxx? That'd have been like that.
No, just hid with where the brass were, crying like a big
Oh, so Juliet,
Well
when you got that role with Emmerdale, was there like a time span to that, you know, or did they say, right, it's going to be X, or did they see how the character progressed, or what?
Well, what it was a day player, because they have day player roles, and that means they'll have people in who are they could be a nurse or a doctor or policewoman or paramedic. So the day player roles, and they give you your TV credits, you know, to put on your CV to build up your CV.
Right, okay.
But the mere fact that you've got that is really good, you know. So that's what I got, was a day player role. And yeah, you get plenty of warning. That, you know, they were absolutely lovely. To be honest, you get plenty of warning. You sign your contract. They send you the script. Then costume ring you, you know. And then I went up to Leeds. Then the day before, went for the fitting, stayed overnight, and then I filmed. What an experience! I just can't tell you how good it was. You know, and again, it's resilience, because I was so nervous. You know, and I thought, and funnily enough, I'd listened to a podcast the night before, and oh God, who was the guy that was on the podcast? It was the responder. It was
Martin Freeman.
And he was saying that he almost shuts down on everything around him, and he just focuses on the task. And I thought, that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. You know, shut.
And how did you feel when you were on the set?
Oh, it was fab. It was fab.
Did you feel nervous then, or were you just like, yeah, I'm here now?
Yeah. The nerves don't go.
Yeah.
You know, I think the more experienced you are on set, it's like anything, isn't it? It's like driving a car. The more you do it, the more you know, you settle into it, and it becomes easier. But yeah, so that's what I did. Yeah, I loved it. So yeah, I'm still on a journey, really. And once I'd finished that, I got a part in another feature film, which was a Liverpool drama called Baby Brother, and I finished shooting that about, I think, 2 weeks ago now.
Okay.
So when does that come out?
Well, I don't know. It's in post-production now, so I'll just leave them to do their bit, really. But that was really good, because Paddy Rowan was in it. The guy who was in the Reese
Jones, the Little Boy Blue.
Little Boy Blue.
Yeah.
He played the Mercer, the killer in it.
Yeah.
And there was another guy, Billy Smith, who's an interesting character. So yeah, I was the mother in that. So yeah, I met some really talented up and coming actors and directors and production people, and yeah, I was happy as a pig in. Do you know what I mean? I'm surrounded by creative people, so
yeah.
And so, do you get credits for that? How do the credits work? You know, because I don't know whether we all think that somebody walks past somebody and they go, yeah, we'll have them for a film, or we'll have them for something.
Well, I think a credit's got to be verified by the director. You know, on your spotlight, because on your spotlight you'll have your profile pictures, your CV, if you like, with the stuff that you've done, and the credits will be, I think, verified by the director.
Yeah.
But a TV credit, which is because Baby Brother's an independent film, and there's lots of independent films, but with the likes of Emmerdale, yeah, that would be verified by the director. I also did My Mum Tracy Beaker as well. I had only had a couple of lines in that, but I did that before Emmerdale, so that was good as well.
Tracy Beaker was massive, wasn't it? In
Tracy Beaker definitely gives you the street cred, the new stuff. because that's a new one than the one. She's the mum now herself.
That's right. Yeah.
They're great stories. And just because I'm quite ignorant about your line of work, Julia, really, but a couple of people I know. Is it like the old days, you know, if you got to get an equity card, is that still a thing? How do you get, is that, no?
No, years ago, when I was younger, you used to have need an equity card, but it doesn't work like that anymore. I think the main thing is to get yourself on to Spotlight. So, and in doing that, you need to get some decent headshots done, and then you need to get a little show reel together. So, you know, the cost doesn't have to cost, you know, loads of money to get it done, because there's lots of people out there who'll take your money. It can be a nice monologue where you're just on your own in front of your phone, or you could have a friend who's sitting the other side and you do a scene between you. But as long as they can see you, you know, and how you perform and your authenticity and stuff like that. So it doesn't have to cost a fortune to do a little show reel, and you put them together really, and they go onto your Spotlight once you're on your Spotlight. I think the other thing is emailing people, so emailing the casting directors just to say, this is who I am, this is what I've done. You know, as much as it is acting and performing, it's also networking.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, lots of people say it's about who you know, isn't it? And you know, we listened to Tony last week, and he was in the right place at the right time about 3 or 4 times. New things just happened, and I think, you know, I think if you put your hard work in, like you have, you know, you put the hard work in, you know, years ago when you were 7, that was when the hard work happened, and now you're reaping those rewards. And I think people don't understand that a lifetime of, you know, probably even though you weren't in the acting game, you were probably still reading books and watching films and things like that, and picking things up of different actors and following journeys and things like that. You know, Des always says, doesn't he, it takes 30 years to become an overnight success.
Absolutely. And I think it's about, and again, this has been coming up week after week when we speak to people who've achieved stuff. It's about resilience, keeping focused and keep going. And it doesn't matter what people say to you, what are you doing that for? Why? It doesn't matter. You follow your heart, you follow your dream, what you want to do, and that's it, isn't it? And resilience is the absolute key, and to keep going and keep going. Yeah. And Tony, you mentioned Tony was on last week. You know, he started getting things published later in life, definitely. You know, not, you know, he had a couple of things when he was young, but generally it was all much later, and he'd done different jobs, and he'd used the people he'd met through life to inspire him with scripts. Have you used people you've met in your life to inspire you how to portray different characters, or does the description more come from what you get from the directors?
Well, I kind of, people you see in everyday life inspire me. Do you know what I mean? You know, and the other thing is about you know, your USP. So what's my unique selling point? Yeah. You know, and for me, roles, whether it's in the police or working in a prison, and I think that's my child protection background, to be honest. But you know, whether it's a mother or whether it's a barrister, so I know they're the types of roles that I kind of gravitate towards. So it's about finding out what you're good at as well. I mean, the other thing that I've always enjoyed doing, and that ever since I was young, is different accents. So,
what's your favourite accent?
I like the Irish. I love an Irish accent. Yeah,
and of course there's a big difference, isn't there? Like with one from say over Tipperary that way to Dublin, etc. There's within Ireland itself, there's a massive difference.
Yeah, totally.
So
how do you learn your accent? How would you learn an accent?
I think, do you know what? I think I do it subconsciously by just watching. If I'm interested, I just you know, I watch people, and I've done it ever since I was young. I used to mimic. I used to mimic the teachers and impersonate the teachers. And my favourite one was Frank. Do you ever remember Frank Spencer?
Yeah, yeah.
That was the party piece when I was in school. I was a bit of a kid in school. So it was always Frank's bed. But yeah, so and then when I went to I had the lessons, the drama lessons, one of them was elocution. So I had to learn standard received pronunciation. So so yeah, that was another thing that so I love the accents as well. So I can swap and change a little bit. But I'm proud of my Liverpool accent, and you know, it's nice to see more dramas as well coming on television that aren't just you know, stereotypical. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Really, you know, I thought The Responder, I thought Anne, I thought Compulsion with Leanne Best was wonderful. You know, there's and they've all come in quick succession, you know, and I just thought, you know, it's nice to see that side of Liverpool being portrayed, the real, authentic side of Liverpool, and the people, you know, positive images. So yeah.
Oh,
Amazing.
And
so what would you? Oh, go on, Sam.
We've got loads of questions.
Bertie, I'll let you.
We've got loads of questions. We want to know everything. You know, and I know you were talking about adverts and things before, and doing adverts and things. Are they good fun, or you know? And when you're doing an advert for that, how long does it take to get it done in the day, or how long for the filming of an ad?
It varies. I mean, I did one in the lockdown, or just before the lockdown hit. I'd done a course, because I'm always doing different courses as well, and I was on a course in Manchester. It was the Meisner. It was a full week, heavy, intense course it was, but it was brilliant. And we were all talking about this COVID, and I thought, oh, it'd be fine.
Yeah,
and we were in lockdown, but during the course, I got a recall for this commercial, so I had to go in the back room. It was full of junk and cases, and do this recall. Anyway, I got the role. But that, I went back about 3 times with that, because they had to change it because of the COVID regulations. The initial one that they aired, that they said we'll have to change that because it's not COVID friendly enough.
Yeah.
So I got another kind of day's work, but yeah, normally about 2 days, you know. Yeah, so that was that one.
So you know, when they film things, they film things back to front and upside down, don't they? And then they slot it all together, especially if it's a film or a soap opera. And sometimes you'll go on set and you might film for 5-6 hours, and it's actually only a little tiny section that they use, isn't it? How long is your longest time on set? And did they pick something that you thought there was another bit that was better that you'd have chosen?
Do you know what? I think when you're featured, it's I mean, it's all dependent on the weather as well. You know, the weather has a lot to say and how long you're filming for. But I think that they're very structured in terms of, and organised in terms of the times and stuff like that. You know, I mean, the soap dramas, I don't know how they do it. You know, because the turnover is amazing. So they've got to be structured. I think the longest hours I did was when I first went back to acting, and I was doing extra work. And you know, the extras, they do about 11-12 hours a day, 13 hours. So that's probably the longest, rather than the featured stuff, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm sure.
What's your most exciting role so far that you've done?
Oh, it's got to be Emmerdale.
Yeah. Were you killed in Emmerdale?
No. There's room for
you can go back. You can go back.
I've not seen Emmerdale. I'm sorry. I watched one years ago when they did like a similar to the Lockerbie disaster, because I was cabin crew, so I would obviously watch that. And that was it. And that's the only time I've seen Emmerdale. Because I don't really watch telly early on in the evening, but I've got loads of mates who watch it every day, who are addicted to it, who absolutely love it. So I don't really know what happened when you were on it.
Well, I was a recovering drug addict. And initially I thought, oh God, but then, you know, when I went for the fitting, they said to me, we don't want someone who looks down and out. We want somebody who is, you know, because drugs can happen to anybody across the board. And at the time, the actress who plays Layla, Roxy, I can't remember her second name now, but she had a drug habit, really pretty girl, and she had a cocaine habit. So she'd gone to this recovery group, and I was in the group, basically. And they just said they wanted someone in similar age to Layla, who, and to let people know that it can affect all walks of life. You don't just have to be down and out. So that was a relief in some ways. But I would have done it even if I had to be a down and out. So yeah, that was my role in that. And I thought, you know, the storyline continued really, and I was thinking, oh please, you know, it'd be lovely to go back. But yeah, so that's probably my favourite up to now, to be honest.
So if you're listening, Layla meets her mate again, and it's for a coffee, and then she ends up coming back into for a pint in the Woolpack, isn't it?
Thanks.
You said before you like reading novels, a lot of period dramas and things, or you know, historical novels, etc. Would, if you could pick and choose any part or any role you'd like to play of something that's been written already, would it be something like that? You know, would you love like Downton Abbey or something, that type of thing? Or
yeah, I'd love to do that. I'd love to do that. I mean, yes, I'm Northern. Yes, I'm from Liverpool. And yes, I'm working class. But, you know, there's more strings to my bow than that. And yeah, I'd love to kind of diversify and do something, you know, whether it was, I don't know, Bridgerton, or whether it was, a period drama, or Downton Abbey.
And you know, you were saying before about you love doing accents and mimicking. I imagine, if you know, I'm not in your line of work, but I imagine versatility is key. Is it being able to do all different types of parts?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And you know, some people are just happy to stick with you know, certain characters, and that's their USP. But I you know, I'd love to diversify, and comedy as well. You know, that's another one, because I've always, and I think that's just a Liverpool thing as well, but you know, I've survived through comedy in my life for a lot of it, you know, and I've been surrounded by people who use comedy as a way of coping and managing with things. So yeah, I enjoy comedy roles as well.
Amazing.
Yeah, there's loads out there.
Have you put on your CV that you can ride a horse on a motorbike?
Ride a horse. I can ride a horse.
Can you? No, that's what they always say. Don't they always say, put on it, I can ride a horse and I can ride a motorbike. And then they get called up and they're like,
where's that couple? Who was it? Who did we have on?
Loads of famous people always say, yeah, I can ride a horse and I can do a motorbike, and then they have to learn how, like stunts.
There was something on telly then, and he said the person could ride a horse, and he went, yeah, I can do that. And then he went, oh, and then had to go, and they said, and had to panicked and had to like learn to ride a horse super fast or something.
Yeah, I wouldn't put stuff in there that you know that I couldn't do, because I'd die a death if they said to me, come on, then you've got the park and you jump out.
Get on that horse.
Yeah.
Can you do a
wing walk?
Yeah.
God no.
No, I'll keep it as real as I can. Do you know what I mean? But
Of course.
What would be your biggest ideal wish? What would be your biggest thing that you would want to achieve?
Yeah. Biggest thing? I think I'm all for living in the moment. So my next biggest thing would be my next TV credit. So I would love to be in a serial drama. That would
Brilliant.
be my next. Yeah, I'd love that. And I'm not ruling out the soaps, but yeah, I would love to have a part in a
period drama.
In a serial drama. Yeah.
Brilliant. Oh, cool.
Cool. If my Uncle Ron's listening in and he says, Sandra had your hair done for your birthday.
You know I haven't had mine. It's getting done in the morning with Zoe at Tranquil at 8:30 in the morning because I had a presentation to give about my bit and the event's been cancelled. I'm fuming. And poor Zoe's coming in early to do it and I feel so bad and it was too late to move it. So, no, I haven't had my hair done, Uncle Ron. I've got vermicelli hair tonight, as we say.
Vermicelli?
That's what he calls it.
Who's Uncle Ron then?
So Uncle Ron is my Uncle Ron, but it's everybody's Uncle Ron now.
Helen's Uncle Ron, but we just
Hi, Uncle Ron.
Helen's got your jam.
No, I have got the jam, yeah. I've got your jam. Yeah, I'll bring your jam over, yeah.
To take over. And, no, my hair's getting done tomorrow, thank God.
So have you had a nice birthday, Sandra?
I've had a lovely day, thank you. I've seen some mates who I used to fly with, so I've had a great day, really cool. Thank you very much. And some cool stuff as well, nice prezzy, so that's great. Yeah, I'm 55. I was traumatized, but I'm all right now. I'm still alive. And as Oscar, what is it? Oscar says, every day above ground is a good day.
So do you know what? I think the 50s is a wonderful age for men, but I'm speaking for the women here. Do you know what I mean? I just think, and I'm going back to the acting again, but if starting something in your 50s, I just think it's a wonderful thing to do. You know, it's not a time to give up.
No.
No, and particularly for women, you know, I think it's really important to, and
I've got to tick the box now that says 55 to 64. I'm absolutely. I was in the 45 to 54 box, and now I'm in the 55 to 60. It's outrageous. So that's the thing I'm struggling with at the minute.
With the acting, it's 45 to 55.
That's the category. So you're in, mate. You're all right.
I've got another year left, and then I'm. Oh God, yeah.
There you go. See,
age is an attitude, not a number.
That's right.
Uncle Ron said, "Evening, Julia."
Hiya, Uncle Ron.
He's water. So
yeah,
you go.
Okay, so we're gonna. Your story's amazing, Julia, and we wish you absolute millions. And we're gonna get you in a drama.
Yeah,
and everyone that we know. And everyone who's listening, we're going to shout it out now, everybody. And she definitely needs to be the star in Downton Abbey. And when you go to the opening, Sandra and I will come and watch.
Don't forget us.
Oh, yeah, VIP seats.
What happens, Julia, is people come onto this show and then go on to do great, great things. So this is like a little platform for greatness, isn't it?
Yeah,
we've had loads of people come on and then you see them and they've just done like loads of amazing things, haven't they?
We're taking the credit for this.
It's lovely to be asked to come on, and I'm really grateful because I'm proud of my city. Do you know what I mean? And you know, and I'm talking for all the women out there as well, because there's a whole generation of us that need you know, just need some support, really.
Yeah, 100%, definitely.
And it's about people it's about not ordinary people who live in the same road as you or whatever, just doing great stuff and getting out there and doing it. So absolutely hats off to you. Yeah. I want to be in an ad.
Yeah, you want to be in an ad.
I thought with loads of people I was watching telly one day and I thought, there's Chris Ward in that pizza advert. And she was for a Domino's. It's just dead funny.
I mean, I've met loads and loads of lovely people. That's the other thing is you develop a network of lovely people.
Yeah.
They're all interested in the same thing as you. So, and a lot of that was in lockdown as well. Kind of met up virtually and then met up in real life after the lockdown. So I've made some good friends out of it as well. But yeah, I still keep my job. I still keep my little part-time job as well because acting doesn't pay the bills, unfortunately, not at the moment.
Yeah. Not yet. It will do soon. So red face moment, something slightly embarrassing that's happened that we can laugh along with, not at.
Okay.
Sam, do you have a red face moment?
Yeah, I've got one. All the photos you've put of me. So it's my birthday today. So Helen has put photos of me of every social media. So we've got Chat of It Together. We've got IP Presents. We've got Success in the City. We had this. Brian Quinn put it on. Brian Quinn put it on TV. I was like, that. It was just ridiculous. And I've been busy, so I haven't really looked at Facebook. And then I was like, this, and it's on all different platforms, but some of the photos are just hilarious.
I really wanted to put the one of us in the Liner Hotel, and I promised to you that I'd never ever share that photograph.
Instead, I was well, it's not a nice thing to say now, but no Russian granny. At the time, with me head because I didn't want to get my hair wet, and you were just howling. Yeah,
the funniest. You had a reindeer under your arm.
Oh yeah, I bought a wooden reindeer off Phil Brody's with the antlers sticking out like twigs. He clearly gave me a reject one, but it wasn't that. And I had my arm and a headscarf. Yeah, I remember that.
As you do.
As you do. And what it was, so you read photos, your photographs. I tried to pick all the cool ones, but I'll pick all the nice ones. Yeah.
That's subjective.
Julian, have you got a red face that people can laugh along with, not at you?
Yeah, I've brought this. I've brought this hat. Can you see it?
So for the people who are listening on Spotify, it is I would say an old granny's swimming cap with flowers on. But in all fairness, I do like it.
Well, do you know what? Right. So this is my embarrassing moment. When I got the commercial, they said to me, "Will you wear a swimming cap?" And I thought, "Oh, you're having a laugh. I'm not wearing that." Anyway, my friend said to me, "Julie, it's good money, and you'll be on the telly and blah blah blah." So anyway, the role was a wild swimmer. So and they wanted it. They were determined they wanted this hat. So that's what I wore for the and do you know what? It was that tight. Honest to God, on the day it was cutting my circulation off. When I took it off, I had a big welt around there, and I'd be me hood up so no one could see me. But it was on the television at the end of the day. But
exactly.
But
did you have to wild swim on the commercial?
Well, no, they just sprayed you with water as if you just got out of the lake. Because they kind of.
I wouldn't have been able to do it.
It's not, but apparently it's really good for you, while swimming. So
it is. It's amazing. Sandra's going to do it soon.
Until a monster bites your foot in the water, and he'll get your leg or something.
Yeah.
So a quick shout out to the grown-ups. Sorry, because we've only got a minute and a half. Quick shout out to the grown-ups.
I'd like to shout out. So I did this thing to sponsor the Big Help Project. Like you can do on your Facebook. And I thought maybe, and I put give £1 or something. So I didn't. I just come up today. I've got 90 quid and loads of people put money on. So I was over the moon. And we're meant to be doing the firewalk on Friday. That was a bit last minute. I'm petrified. So I thought, oh, that's handy.
Brilliant.
So the donation. So thank you to everyone who donated for my birthday on that Facebook for the big.
That's lovely. Then.
I'm so pleased. So thank you.
Amazing. Shout out to any grown-ups for you, Julia.
Off the top of my head, probably my neighbours next door. They're a young couple, and they've got 2 girls under 3, and they've just gone back to school. So I know she was really stressing over dead early, getting one ready, and then getting the other one ready, and anyway, she's pulled it off, and she's well in the routine. She's ironing overnight with the uniform, and so yeah, that's my shout out to her. Well done.
Well done. Well done. I'm going to shout out to Anthony and his wife for the party that they did. And Anthony made the cake for his son, and it was amazing. Sandra can't eat it because she's gluten free, so I was made up because I got 2 pieces.
You got 2 pieces.
So yeah, it was amazing. Big shout out to Ant. Julia, very quickly, we're going to do a positive challenge for people to do, and then we're going to close with your mantra.
Okay. Positive challenge. I just think for people to say, wake up every day and say 3 positive things to themselves in the dinner, or just as they're getting ready, or they're going to work, or whatever they're doing in their day. Just 3 positive things, beginning with the word I am.
Yeah. Brilliant. I love it. So yeah, start your day with 3 things saying I am. Like, yeah, I am beautiful, I am strong.
I am powerful, I am strong.
It's amazing. Brilliant. Yeah. Thank you so much for giving your time tonight. It's been lovely, and I think we could have talked to you for ages. Massive thank you to Scotty for coming on her birthday. And enjoy the rest of your birthday, and we'll catch up tomorrow. And we're going to let Julia close with her positive mantra that she lives by.
Okay, so I've got this on my Facebook. So it's illegitimi non carborundum, and it's a mock Latin saying, and it means don't let the B grind you down.
Yeah,
very good.
Keep going. Well done. Thank you so much, and we will see everybody next week. Good night, everyone.
Thanks very much. Bye.
Bye.